clout. I'm one of the realest, the real ones can vouch. They thought I was done, but all that doubt. You gotta play my next around. Salute when you see me. Put in the car to my runner, get to you speedy. Still thugging like the days when they weren't hearing my CD. Made it out of the trenches. Just salute when you see me. Yeah, salute when you see me.
I'm getting greedy, I blowed on her budget on me, that's on me, I'm conceited. Treaty, nah, that ain't how we treat it. This right here sound like a three-peat. I put the in it sound like I'm knee-deep, I'm like, oh, you too needy. Me and HB going Juvie and BG, they gotta put my face on the box of Wheaties. I'm praying for whoever think they compete. Salute when you.
Well, it may be a bit soggy, but that certainly hasn't deterred this fan base. A great crowd on hand to battle the raindrops at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Cameron Batson now from his end zone, and they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football. Well, this defense for the Saints, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting there.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
It always up for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They'll run for it with Henry. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I'm laughing because I'm not so sure I would have made this call. I'm not so sure I would have said, yeah, let's go ahead and get this one, especially at this point of the game. But give him credit. He had a feeling and carried it through.
Yeah, that's one where you think, okay, if you're down, 2 minutes left, the ball's near midfield, you go for it. But in this stage, at that part of the field, but like you said, it worked. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Now a handoff to Henry. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there and a first down.
So a nice run right there. And worth mentioning their usual starting running back out this week. The hope is it's just a... Short-term absence, but this is where it pays, Charles, to have a quality reserve that you can turn to when you need it.
And to me, they definitely have that because this is a guy who's more than capable of picking up the slack. And he's likely going to see a big share of carries as this one progresses. And how many times do we see running backs jump into the breach and have big games?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give, left side. This is Murray. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first down carry for Henry. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd and 7.
To throw is Tannehill. And Jones has it over the middle. Touchdown! Julio Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. Play fake. Winston. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bud Dupree, able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
And pressure coming, and they got it once again. Rashad Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. Here comes the Saints punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Titans are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over 1st and 10. And some room to maneuver. And they will finally get him down, and now penalty flags coming in as well. And they might get half the distance here to boot. So the face mask moves him closer, and now 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Titans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
4-4, their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team? They want to be consistent in their play. Not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. 12-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. To throw is Winston. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Throwing again on second down. Tannehill. He completes it to Jones. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Boy, this defense, they probably thought they were done with Julio Jones when he was shipped out of Atlanta. You know, they had him twice a year. They'd have faced him when he was in the NFC South, but now he's in Tennessee, and they've got to cover him again here. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Buying time to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Johnson's got it complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And Derrick Henry with the ball in his hands, what a sight to behold, because power and speed involved in every touch for him. Coming off another spectacular season with the Titans, he became the first since LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006 and 2007 to win 2 straight rushing titles, and he did it with style, too.
Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Titans. Julio Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. 3rd time's the charm on the extra point as he gets this one to go. And that will make this a 19-point game. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they are back to 500 now. The win last week, their 3rd in a row. And the question, is this run coming too late to make a difference in the playoff race?
Great question. They definitely still have some work to do, but I think a lot of folks were writing this team off about 3 weeks ago, even some of their own fans. So I suggest you put some extra shocks on the old bandwagon, because this team has rebounded.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Jeffrey Simmons, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Winston. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll be out right at the 35. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And this will wind up as Saints' 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say,
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 45 on second down, Winston airing it out deep for Smith.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 19, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. Being chased out left.
And this, incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Tannehill. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones.
And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That one goes for 24 yards. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Tannehill.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
He was looking for the running back, Derrick Henry. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
I'm here all day. Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
44, Mike, 44. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Play.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. Wesley Woodyard there on the tackle.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Well, he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. As the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm here all day. Football's the mic. Mike's football. No,
Here's Tannehill. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Off play action, Tannehill. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And Bullock will put this one through. And that one ups the lead to 22-0. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
4 seconds, all that remain here in this first half as the kick gets away. Final play of the half here, Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Nashville, the Music City, with the Titans out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw, Winston. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Winston to give. It's Kamara. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Second and 9. Play action now, Winston. And that is incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But now it's 3rd down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
On 3rd down, Winston. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They're indeed going. It's Winston. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A run there with Henry as he gets forward only for about 3. 2nd down coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 44's the mic. 44's the mic. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win, obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. Flushed out right, and he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Cameron Jordan able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it will be 4th down. They snap it to Tannehill. It's brought incomplete. It's John Brown. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. On 1st down, it's Henry, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That play unable to get started thanks to the defense of Quan Alexander.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Play action, it's Tannehill. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Anthony Frisker, the intended target.
3rd down here.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Tannehill now to throw. This is going to be caught. It's John Brown.
And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A pretty good mark there. They needed 14. They got 14 on 3rd down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Let's go. Lady. 56. You can't block me. You can't block me. 56.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Second and 10.
Taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now after the holding call, here's second and 20. Now Tannehill. The left side completion to Jones. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Tannehill. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of the first as that leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
So little by little, the better of these two sides starting to become more and more apparent.
3 points is not a knockout blow in the third quarter, but when the other guys haven't shown they can do anything, they don't have any points, this is looking pretty good. Maybe not a knockout blow, but a good stiff jab, that's for sure.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. Let's see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season.
And the Saints are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter.
Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Tannehill.
On the slant, he'll get it to Jones.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Back now in Nashville, and that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down. Henry, and he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now Tannehill. Flush to his right.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Throwing on second and long. Tannehill. They set up the screen for Henry. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
Here we go.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. On first and 10, Winston. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From just shy of midfield, Winston trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year.
And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Winston to throw for it. It's complete, and he's going to get in. So they're back within 11. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way. So it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a first and 20.
Let's go, D, let's go.
Now it's Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll run it again with Henry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 53 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff. This is Murray now. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Derrick Henry. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. They'll try the air now with Tannehill. And John Brown's got it complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Derrick Henry. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year.
And the Titans add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Working out of the gun, Winston. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. A first down throw for Winston. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Virginia Tech, Caleb Farley. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now. And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Throwing now, Tannehill. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. He made a terrific play.
He's going deep for Brown. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.